Good evening. How do Rex? How do Jamie? How are you doing? Um, we could be in for a bit of a bumpy ride today. I don't know whether you're aware, but we've got a few people who like trolling. So what we're going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit as to why this is a problem for us. But I've got a feeling you probably already understand that trolls are a problem. But there again, we do like trolls to a certain extent. They add to the analytics, as they say. So shouldn't be any issues in upsetting them in any way, shape, or form. Oh well, let's see what happens. We've got one particular one who, as I've explained before, um, he attacks people. He likes attacking people. It's what he tends to enjoy more than anything, especially people who he thinks are defenseless, which 9 times out of 10, I can honestly say that's not true. Hello, Anonymous. How are you doing? Queen Ninja, thanks for joining. Yeah, some American, we the people Tyrant War, went out and bought himself a domain name to try and upset me. And as you're aware, the name is called the Grim Reaper Radio Show.net. Do not go anywhere near it. Hi, John. How you doing? I'll explain why, just in case if you haven't seen this video. I'll share it and hopefully it'll explain. So there you go. The problem that we have is that this we the people Tyrant War. I don't have a problem with him setting up a website. You know, if he wants to mimic me in any way, shape, or form, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I find it quite funny, I must admit. Hello, Rebel City Presents. How are you doing? I like your channel. I've been on it a few times, and I've seen you around. By the way, guys, go ahead and put his link in, and please go over and show a little bit of love. Yeah, the problem I've got with his website is that the script that he's using is full of malware. And the problem with malware is it affects your browser when you go to it as a possibility. Now, it could be that we, the people, Tyrant War, has no idea of the problem, you know, and he's not aware that the cheap script that he's bought is full of holes. So he needs to double check that, you know. Chili Stolen Van. Hi, Michelle. How you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Caucasian Sasquatch, you're always welcome. You know that. So's everybody else. Normally I say leave your drama at the door, but I would like to openly encourage We the Tyrants, We the People Tyrants Hunter Tyrant War, get it right in a minute, to come on over and explain the reason why. Apparently it's because I shouldn't have put my nose in somebody else's business. Well, do you know what? I can't help it at times, you know. But anyway, let's hope they do come up. If anybody wants to jump on up and say hello, friend or foe, so to speak, you know, as long as you're respectful, there shouldn't be any issues whatsoever. You know, I don't mind, you know. I've got a way of making sure you don't drop a bomb on me, you know. So, hey, let's see what happens. I put the link in and I pinned it as well. Hello, Tony Lee. You've not missed anything, really. I'm just finding that this We the People Tyrant War is lurking around still, causing problems the way that they like to do for different people. You know, you had a go at somebody else the other day. Please go over to his channel, have a laugh, see what he's doing. You know, evidence, no evidence, etc. Shall we say? But yeah, I mean, by all means, go over there and you know, if you like what he does, it's not an issue. You know, subscribe to them. You know, I'm not going to turn around to you and say, don't go over, you know. Never heard of him, mate. No, well, I hadn't actually, I must admit, Tony. I just think that he's got a fantastic voice, you know, as well. Honestly, what the hell's going on? Oh, shit. You need to have a look at the promo. To be honest, I've already played it once. I'm not playing it again just yet. I will do later, possibly, if nobody comes up. I'm not going to talk to yourself all night. I'm not one of these creators who's able to do that. But you know, in a nutshell, somebody who I get on with over here, they've attacked them as well today, which is fine. You know, I just let them know when their attitude is, well, let the children play. You know, but you know what? Come on up, say hello. If there's anybody from We the People Tyrant War would like to come and explain what it is I've done, you know, I don't mind, you know. What have I got on? What you got on in here today? Normally it's drama free, but I thought I'd create a bit of drama for a change, you know. One of the things I don't understand about this guy on YouTube is no matter what he does, he has his comments off. You know, so you can't even comment. And if you send him an email, if it goes into one pack, in other words, in his supporters side, then they're looked into, etc. But if it's someone criticising in any way, shape, or form, then of course they're going to turn around and, you know, discount it, you know. So they're never going to reply. So what's the point? I thought I'd do a short video, to be honest. You know, they're allowed to, so you know that's the reason why. You know, yeah, that's why they're called a coward. Well, you put shit on the internet, you know, it's there forever, etc. I just thought it was funny, and I want to say thanks very much, Tony and Kate. Yeah. Give us 2 seconds or so, and I can sort this out. Right. Hello.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
How are you doing, Tony?
Yeah, I'm all right. You can see it's me, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, all right. I'll switch my camera off now then.
Yeah, no worries. I wasn't going to put you on screen unless you wanted.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. How can I help you today?
Oh, I was just wondering more how I can help you, you know.
Oh, right. Oh.
Be having a bit of a problem.
I'm not having problems. I'm having fun.
Yeah, oh, well, that's all the better then, isn't it?
There's a difference, Tony.
Oh, well, you know. I'm just here to join in.
Basically, an American thinks it's funny to buy a website very close to mine, you know, as a name.
Okay, yeah.
But .net at the end, and use a script on it, which means that they can't, well, anyone goes to it, you might get an infection from the malware, which can cause problems with your browser, or they could take your IP address and etc. And try and log in. So all I advise people to do anyway is to use a VPN. You know, that way you keep yourself private, you know.
Right.
All right, Akash, how are you doing? So I think it's quite nice in a way that I've now had 2 trolls.
Yeah, you know? Well, what is it to say? Mimicry is the highest form of flattery, I think they say, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Hello, AJ, how are you doing? I don't know whether to be flattered, annoyed, or what to be honest. Right. I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a turn up for the books, isn't it?
You know, I don't know when I've ever attracted such notoriety.
No, yeah, this is the this is the place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, who do I offend? You know, I'd love to know.
Certainly not
someone
me.
Can tell me.
It certainly ain't me.
I don't mind defending people if I know the reason why.
Yeah,
you know.
At least not want to know who you're offending.
It'd be nice, you know what I mean? I think I can understand the reasoning why. I think it's because the people that have been going on, you know, onto some of the channels, they don't like, and I think that's what it is more than anything else.
Yeah. Right.
So they've got a beef about them, and I'm guilty by association.
Association, yeah. Preposterous, really.
I mean, what happened to being a free agent? You know. Hello, legend. Danny Williams argument.
Yeah, this YouTube is just a microcosm, really, of the real world, isn't it?
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah,
I'll put that one up if I can. You have to bear with me, guys. I'm going solo again. Yeah, it is that. Yeah, you haven't done anything wrong. I support you, Graham. Sounds like just another troll.
Yeah,
no, he's not referring to Tony. He's not. Yeah, I don't mind trolls at all. I think trolls are good. I've got to admit, for a little channel to get such notoriety, especially from over in the States.
Yeah,
I mean, just because I support their constitution and their rights, I thought I'd wander around and go to other channels, and I'm not even sure 100% certain whether they're trying to have a dig at me or I try to have a dig at the people whose channel I've been going on, and whose lives,
Right.
I
My
think I
goodness.
can work it out, though. I'm a little bit more intelligent than you think. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not for me to say. What I actually want them to do is to. There's a phrase over here, it's to come out of the closet, and explain the reason why.
Yeah.
Have a bit of balls and come and say hello.
Yeah, that would, make sense, wouldn't it? Really, if you've got some kind of issue, that's what these.
Yeah.
If you're invited to.
Just come over. It's not that far away, especially with the internet. If I can get over to the US and into Canada, I'm sure you can come over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I know there's a time difference, so they might watch this on a replay at a later date, and then make another one,
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got to put this up because I know. But they're allowed to talk about me. I'm allowed to take the piss out of them.
Yep, absolutely.
They can't even really. They could put complaints in because obviously I'm talking about their YouTube channel. But I didn't put a complaint in about what you said about me. That I support all these different people with criminal records, etc. This is because I'm not outed because I don't believe in doing that. I don't believe in doxing people, even their stage names. But people who will know when I refer to a young man who some 40 years ago committed a sexual act on a female, not necessarily. I don't think they were young. It was just a female. Went a little bit too far, did the time. They've come out, moved to another location, another country. Now threatening to go back over to the US, apparently. People say, well, that was 40 years ago. And my argument is, yes, but if the victim is still alive, they're never going to forget it. They're going to live it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, that's right.
Also the family and the people associated, they become collateral damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not we the people Tyrant hunted. We the people Tyrant war. I keep getting it wrong,
Right.
I've got it right in the thing, but you know what I'm like, guys. I start talking and I forget things. Not my fault.
Oh,
call it old age.
Yeah, we're an advanced, time frame.
Yeah, well, I've been around here since whenever the Spanish flu was. That's where the Grim Reaper came from. So I'm a little bit older than most, and a lot wiser.
Yeah.
Caucasian. If he's legit, he's a bad actor. If he's trolling, then he's not interested in facing victims. No, well, I don't see myself as a victim, but this guy who I'm referring to is a supporter of another group, shall we say? Everybody's in groups these days, and they've accepted him, and I've got principles,
Yeah.
You commit a crime against a woman, or a woman commits a crime against a man, or you with me, whichever way you want to, excuse the phrase, swing it.
Yeah.
Right. As far as I'm concerned, that's it. Goodbye. Don't want to know you. Don't even want to know you exist.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few that I can think of that, like, you wouldn't want Myra Hindley around at your house having a knees up, would you?
No, exactly. So I get picked up and people have a go at me, or this idiot has a go at me, I should say, and thinks because I don't say much, I'm not going to respond. So I'm dedicating this show, first time and hopefully the last time, to this particular troll, because you've gone one better than the last one. They only said to me that I need to be investigated because I've got nothing to hide.
Yeah, that
work that one out, Tony. Because
well,
I don't get that.
Sign of the times, I think, is all we can say, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen trolls before, and I've seen what it can do and the damage it can do to people. I'm a little bit stronger than some people. I'm also very stubborn.
Yeah.
Okay. I work on a lot of other, forms of communication, shall we say, and other platforms where you've got total free speech. But on here, I always, and you can underline that, abide by the terms of service.
Yeah.
Other people might not, but I do, I don't even try and bend them. It's just not worth it. I stopped playing music because I kept getting stupid emails and notifications.
Copyright strikes and all that.
Well, no, copyright claims are called. It's just I can't be bothered.
No.
So I'll play music elsewhere. I don't mind. And it was just me listening to it. It's sort of music I enjoy.
I've forgotten the platform that you mentioned some time ago, but we tried.
It's still there. PSYOP was still developing it.
That was the one. I remember we tried to get into it, but I don't know if it's just me and Katie that are useless or what. But
no, there was some things in there which did cause problems, but now you don't need to register. You just go and watch whatever you want to watch.
All right.
It's on there. I mean, I want to do some lives over there, but there's not much point when I've got nobody over there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you need to build your audience, don't you? I suppose somehow, but
yeah. I also want to get a way of people being able to take part in a live show.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things I may have to do is to do pre-recorded shows, and that way we can have free speech. I can edit it so it fits certain terms of service, and then sort it out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind participating if required or desired, whichever.
What I'll do is I'll put when I'm ready to start doing lives over there as well as here. I'll do little promos, 15-second things or something. Wednesday night, for argument's sake, over on this night or something. I'll think of something between now and then.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I hope you get the notifications, Tony. Yeah.
I think
Imagine
so. Yeah.
You must have done to get this one. Thinking about it.
I expect so. I can't remember, to be honest.
You're just a nosy git like me, are you?
I think so. Yeah. It's early.
See who's live. Yeah, I've still got to sort out next week's live actually, because I can't do a live on Friday night because another channel I help out with is running a channel, running it on a live. Wolf Lovers Paranormal Investigations.
Oh yeah.
She's running a live next Friday, so I'm not going to run a live, so I don't take any views away, and hopefully people will go across and watch and comment, because that's what I'll probably end up doing. I have tried to restream it in the past. It was successful, but me not knowing anything about the paranormal, I couldn't really do that. I'd need somebody who knew a little bit about it. Hey, John, I'm glad you got the notification, mate. As I say, it's just one of these things that I think to myself, I wonder if you're with me, I should move things over. Okay, Shirley, is this an attempt to bore Tyrant Wars into submission? Are you having a go at me? Hey, you saying I'm boring now? Or are you saying that John's boring? Tony's boring. See, I told you, forget your name. I'm not. Listen, I might be boring at times. I don't mind.
Yeah, I was going to say I might be low grade. I might be low grade stuff, but I'm free. You know.
Well, yesterday we had a magician on. It was good. See, Chili's stolen van. There's two choices. You either stay or you go. I don't mind which. You know, I've got to be honest.
Yep. No skin off my nose either.
Do you want your camera on or off? Hello.
Hello. Good, Grim. How you guys doing?
All right. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. I figured I'd pop in here since we're talking about We the Pedo Tyrant Whore.
I shouldn't laugh, honestly.
I mean, you should, because his phone number comes back to a bunch of information on a dude named Tom Jones that turns around and comes back to a pedophile out of the Bronx, just outside of Eastchester Gardens, named Gerald Lewis. So, I mean, I think you should think it's funny to some degree.
Well, I've got, it's ironic actually when I'm accused of supporting the same sort of people just by appearing on other people's channels. But of course, let's face it, folks, no one's as bad as some people that he supports. You know, and if that's the case, if that's true, mate, then you shouldn't pick on the Reaper, because eventually I'll have you one way or another, mate. You know?
Well,
hello, Amanda's Adventures UK.
There's a phenomenon, Grim, with people that have authoritative complexes to a certain degree, right? And the reason I mention that is because people like myself that have spent an overabundance of time auditing and cop watching, that believe in, you know, government transparency, police accountability, tend not to really go along with the fucking get along when it comes to fucking losers that, you know, want to do weird shit with weaponizing freedom of speech. And probably because we know what it's like to weaponize freedom of speech. Here in America, freedom of speech, by all means, is an absolute weapon. In fact, it is your first line of offense against any government entity across the board. Without your ability to speak up, there is no call to action. With no call to action, there is never a change. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me that some of these people go out and take it to the extremes they do. But let's face it, like, if you have this clown pedo fuck, you know what I mean, running around the internet, you know, like thinking that he has his anonymity or pretending now that he still has his anonymity, and you start evaluating them, dude, like these dudes like take it way too far. I mean, think about this. I've been cop watching, auditing a long time. I've taken on several different causes. And in the process of that, I fucked up once and wound up violating an exclusionary order, which got me a criminal charge. Right. Criminal. Right. So there's a line. There's a fucking line that says, okay, you can take it to this point and you can dispute criminality up to this point. But as soon as you cross that point, you are now nothing more than a, you know, simpleton criminal. I had to deal with the consequences of that.
Mm-hmm. Just hang on there a sec. I don't want to. Tony's dropped out. Hopefully he'll come back. Devo, yeah, going for a motorbike ride. You be careful, as I say. Rally, great to see you. Thanks. I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen you around. You've seen me around. We probably chatted, every now and again, so to speak, if I can get a word in edgeways on some of the panels. But
I'm known as the new motherfucking king of YouTube, aka Liberty Bird.
Yep. Now I understand a few things.
Yeah, I mean, so since we've divulged that much for your viewers that don't know me, because a lot of you don't, I come from the last 5 years of activism, right? Got myself caught up in some shit during the Rona, trying to get intel and information before the Rona hit the U.S. about the CDC and their involvement with the conspiracy of pushing the Rona across the world. Landed me in a little deep shit of leftist political fucking agenda. Now I took it on the chin, right? Like I did my time. I'm done with my shit. But in the process of this, like I think this is my point, is that you have a line that separates activism and freedom of speech from criminality. Okay, January 6th, the insurrection that happened at the Capitol, all the way up until the point that they decided to unlawfully break and enter.
Mm-hmm.
It was a protest. It was we the people. It was a voice. It was freedom of speech. Okay, at the point that you turn it into criminality, consequences become fucking abundant, right? Like we've seen people lose their lives. Like we've seen people with criminal charges that now have pretty much lost their lives as they have to sit in a cell until they pay their debt to society. Now, I guess my main goal of bringing this up is that we the people Tyrant Wars has taken it past the point of criminality on multiple occurrences, from the civil front to the actual criminal front. It is a criminal offense, Grim, to steal your trademark and then create a domain with it because you are publicly known, because you are a public figure in the eye of the public. It is illegal. Okay. Now, more so, the clown has turned around and done the same thing with several of mine and other people, such as Authority Check Presents. We see like the Furry Potato thing, and a lot of some of these people like Furry Potato. I don't give a fuck about Furry Potato. I don't even really like Furry Potato. However, Furry Potato has a legitimate trademark that is now being infringed on by one said we the people Tyrant Wars. But what happens? Mm-hmm. What happens, Grim, when that on the civil front, because we're talking about trademarks and business, so it's civil. Okay. What happens though, Grim, when it turns around and it becomes your personal name? Right. And then they take your name. Now that's where it actually becomes criminal. Right. Now think about this. In addition to that, they steal all your information. They quite possibly have created financial accounts and institutions to create lines of credit in your information that they can turn around and illegally pull from to fund their little, leftist agenda of stripping the American Constitution down to fucking nothing, to the point where you won't even be able to fucking piss in your fucking bathroom without paying a tax for it.
Well, I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm somewhere, in the middle, as you say, sitting on the fence.
I'll believe it or not, I'm a libertarian myself, so I don't believe in conservative versus the leftist agenda. I think it's the same agenda.
Well, I agree totally. So no one touched it.
I mean, face it, dude. Obama tried to push along biometric technology and verified track tracing. Guess who succeeded at that agenda and said he would? Trump. Right. So Trump goes in and he pushed the same agenda that his predecessor was trying to push. And he claims that he's on a different side of the fence. It doesn't work for me.
Well, thing is, what I'll say is we would normally just, leave your crap at the door. I've set this up because of the things which, buying a website is one thing, putting it up is another. Thank you very much for the flattery in doing that. I appreciate it. However, you need to look at how you put it up, because there's a lot of malware in there. And if you've got something to say, why don't you just come up and say it instead of putting on a strange voice? You know, just make yourself out to be some sort of joker when you're not. You know, you certainly don't have the intelligence of the Joker.
Hey, Grim, just so you know,
that's my own personal point of view.
Not to cut you off, but I just wanted to let you know that I absolutely have in my possession a copy of the Clown's real voice, and I will be airing it this week.
Oh, do me a favor, let me know in advance.
Yeah, I believe.
I've got to think about the time difference. That's all. But yeah,
that's all right. I'll post it. I'll post it probably in the next. I'll probably post it on day 7 from today. I'll probably post it in 7 days.
No problem. Yeah, malware is very scary, John. That's the reason why in the promo for tonight's show, I put that in. I'm not going to advise anyone to go there. But the difference between that website and our website is that the only data which is collected is what is actually needed for you to connect to the website and to move around the website. And then, you know, if you're using things like Brave, it'll get rid of any cookies or anything which is on your laptop or even your mobile. You know, but I just
Grim,
find the whole thing amusing.
Grim, there is less malware on a fucking pornographic site than there is on that dude's fucking links.
Well, he's got two. He's got his own, and he's got this one which is supposedly a piss take out of the Grim Reaper Radio Show.com.
He's got more than
not
that.
Actually.
He's got so he no longer has furrypotato.us, but he has authoritycheckpresents.com. He has the psychologicaloperations.group.com, which, you know, used to be my stuff. Because of his theft of my trademark and creating websites of it, I literally just got rid of the name, right?
Yeah.
And then he's got my personal name, right? Like my actual name. Same thing going on with Salty Rant. And then we've seen him do it to other people. It's absolutely criminal.
Well, one of the things which he did, you know, you've come across Curious Bunny, no doubt. He had something to say about her. Now, I'm not saying that it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'll come back to that in a sec. I thought I should let her know what he's done, so I did a screenshot of it and said, or copy and paste of what he said and sent it over via email to Curious Bunny just to have a look at and so that she was aware of it. Anyway, she's not worried. I'm not worried, but you shouldn't pick on people who tend to return the favor somehow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's it. I will. I know I'm returning the favor.
You know, I'm just doing this. I don't normally do a Sunday night, and I certainly don't normally do drama, not on here, because we cross so many different connections and different groups.
You
know,
and Grim, all I say to this isn't drama anymore, right? Like we're no longer dealing with just drama and
no, yeah, I agree. Over in the States, it's a lot worse than it is over here. Now, we have so-called trolls over here, right? I'll tell you what, they really don't know what's going on over in the States. Trolls there tend to knock on your door, and when you open, you're on the floor because you got a gunshot. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's how bad it can get.
That is, and it escalates quick. I mean, well, think about this. Like how much can you do to somebody before they snap?
Yep. Oh, and then they'll blame everything,
on everybody else.
Yep. I agree. As South Alabama, thanks for dropping by. You're right. There are free online scanners that can check any links, any websites, etc. That's the reason why I've ran a few myself and a couple of other people, and we came up with exactly the same conclusion: stay away.
Yeah.
And what they did was that they said they got the what's the word, accreditation because they had this little piece of certification, electronic, which says that their website is safe. Well, the website, questionable. The link, questionable. Why? Because if you've never been there before, you will probably see something which says, do you wish to continue? This does not have the right certification, or is on a blacklist or a danger list. So,
hey, Grim, would you like me to call We the People? Would you like me to call We the People Tyrant Wars live on air right now to see if we can't get him online to talk to us about this? I do have his phone number.
If you want to do that, that's fine. However, I would say, out of respect to other people, that you mute yourself while you ask him, then you can come back and tell us what his answer is. It'll either be yes or a no.
I don't think that he'll answer. Quite personally.
No, well, I don't think he'll come up either. But
no,
he knows you're ringing him.
Yeah, no, he won't. He's too scared of that. But I mean, we've been chiseling away at his anonymity, and he claims that it's not possible. It's never going to happen. But you know the deal. Like yourself, knowing how the system works and dealing with the activism I've dealt with around police accountability, district attorneys and judges and the rest of that, I've come accustomed to a lot of understanding around the law. And something I know is quite easy is that to file a lawsuit against someone is as simple as paying the sum of $75 and then having the money to have them served. So in the process of that, right, you just put the cap on whatever that small claims is. But think about this. So, and this is what you guys can expect from the clown. Okay. It's a pretty simple technique that he uses. I got it down to a fucking science because I've studied multiple cases that this dude has actively, taken action against people. So what he'll do is he'll first start it out with, talking some shit and then trying to find whatever online dirt he has against you. And then he'll turn around and he'll try to start spreading that information, not just across the platform, but then to your neighbors by the use of mailers. And then he'll start making phone calls to the police. And then he'll try to, if you have kids, he'll try to attack your kids with CPS. If you have firearms, he'll try to attack your Second Amendment. If you have, the use of your freedom of speech, he'll just continue to try to utilize that to create false narratives and bullshit about you. Or he'll take a real situation and he'll exaggerate it so bad to where it's no longer the truth. It's a devil's trick, right? It's deception. It's nothing more. Meanwhile, he's screaming love, peace, and happiness. Problem is that he's been making a lot of mistakes, hence how I got his phone number, how I've gotten several of his aliases, from the Gerald Lewis to the Tom Joneses to the Janet Jones email, which is interesting because Salty Rant had told me at one point when I was ridiculing him, because me and Salty have gone rounds, right? But the Salty Rant had told me that he had put a copyright strike in against We the People Tyrant Wars. And the response came back under the name of Janet Jones, which is interesting because now as we searched and we took the phone number that was found on a one police report to my local PD, once I did a search on that number, it links back to a website for the furry potato, .us that We the People Tyrant Wars created a long time ago. Right. So it shows that he's had this number for quite a while, so his claims that it changes every 90 days is bullshit. And I was like, that's interesting. Why is he deflecting from that? So I went and I pulled the report and I searched the number. And after searching the number, I turned out a lot more information. Now, you take that information and you get a little more information. And then you take that information and you get a little more information. What happens, and this is back to my lawsuit point, is that when you file that claim, you don't just add We the People Tyrant Wars because he has so many aliases. You have to list them all, right? So you have to find these people. You have to have them all served. But the number one thing where he fucked up, and I think that, I got an entire year to pursue it, but I should probably get on it sooner than later. But he produced a flyer to my neighbors that utilized the company Click to Mail. I had a talk with the owner from Click to Mail, and he says that if he is subpoenaed, he will give up all of the information for the person that purchased the flyers.
Right.
And that's called a motion to compel. So again, if you start getting involved with all this legal shit, you'll learn a few things, and a motion to compel will ultimately compel that company to divulge all of the information to have the appropriate person served in that court of law.
Well, sounds to me like you got that one sorted, Bird. For the guys who just come in, actually, and also for everybody else, just to remind you, normally I don't do any sort of drama on here, but it's a Sunday night. There's very few people around and or doing live, so I thought I'd schedule one around a wonderful guy who's calling himself "We the People Tyrant War," and I've mentioned him before. He set a website up. He hasn't actually done anything with the website other than to try and make the Grim Reaper Radio Show.com a bit of a joke. However, the joke's on him, because until he changes the script on his website, he can't get rid of the malware, which is there to infect everybody that goes, and also nick your IP address, etc. No point in emailing him, because if you're not on his side, he bins it. Simple as that. He doesn't want to know. And I've invited him to come up to put his point of view. Unfortunately, like the coward that he is, because he doesn't like any comments on anything he puts.
I'll mute and call him
either. Now. Okay. He doesn't want to come up and say anything. He can even put his silly voice on. I don't mind. He can try and pull on me, but guess what? I've got a couple of defences against that. I've got very good moderators who watch the chats and see how things are going. And they've got to get past the screen that we put up as well, while they're on. But I will say one thing. I'd love them to come up. I'd love to ask them the questions, why have you done this? What is it I'm supposed to have done? Let's have a conversation and let's be adults about it, But you know what? I don't care. Who is the Grim? Well, he picked on the wrong person, because, as I said earlier, guys, I've taken time to think about it and decided to put this together. The stage is yours. You want to come up? In fact, anybody wants to come up. If you don't mind a little bit of drama, then please come up. Wandering Hippie, hi. I know you don't like drama, so if you don't want to come up, I fully understand. We've got a guy here who knows all about this piece of garbage, and has done his own investigation, etc. And this is one of the people who's been going after. I can name a few others that I've seen, him and his cronies, but I can't say that any of them will come up, even with the invite to bring his supporters along. I have no issues whatsoever. We could have a couple of 100 people all saying all sorts of crap about me in the chat. I don't mind.
Well, I got good news for you guys, right? So through my experience, I found out some interesting things kind of along the way, right? And that is that malware serves as a disservice to We the People Tyrant Wars and his shenanigans. Not just that, but the Constitution of America also allows us to face our accusers. So because he is continuing to hide behind the scenes, behind what he believes to be, a anonymity of some sort, which, like I said, we're chiseling away at. He can't be a victim. You have a right to face your accusers. So if a victim comes forward, he can't be the victim. So he's made several police reports, and when they go to check it out, they look at the websites, and then they realize that, their malware bytes won't allow him to enter in, or allow them to enter into the site without disabling it. And they don't want to give up their passwords and credit card information. Right.
Yeah.
And so they don't. And the same thing with CPS, the same thing with all of these agencies that he's calling to try to utilize against you, winds up seeing this dude, looks at some of his YouTube videos and realizes this is a creep clown fuck. So that only works in your favor.
Well, two things I'll say. Danny, I'll bring you in a second, mate. Just want to say hi to What's Truth. This is turning out to be a little bit different, not what I expected at all. We seem to have an invasion of the Americans, and I have no issue with that whatsoever, by the way. As the people who I've spoken to many times, I love the Americans. I think they're great. You know, Nutter, you are on the website. You certainly are, mate, and I wouldn't take you down at all.
Now, Grim, you are a London man, is that correct?
No. But thanks for asking.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just figured you were that UK. It sounded like London to me.
Oh, it's all right, mate. I mean, I can't tell the difference sometimes between a Texan and a Mexican and whatever. You with me? A Canadian and an American. You know, it sounds very similar to me. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but you know what? It's still how it is. Danny,
how you doing?
What can we do for you? How you doing, mate? Nice to
I
have
don't know.
you.
You said anybody's welcome up on board, so I figured, fuck, why not?
Yeah. Have you got a different viewpoint, Danny? I have no issues. If you got a similar viewpoint, no issues at all.
Actually, I don't have much viewpoints because I don't view it very often. How you doing,
Yeah,
Bert?
you usually on panels, you go from one to another. I'm only joking, folks. He's not that bad. It's me that does that. I know what time people are starting, what time people are change. Some I'll just listen to.
How you doing, Danny?
Not too bad, I guess. Yourself?
Shit, bro, living the dream pretty much at this point. I'm like 2, maybe 3 days away from finishing my summer work, and then I go to my winter schedule, which means that I'm up for a month and a half to sit up, relax, drink some brew, enjoy the family. You know, do what I do.
Can't complain about that, right?
No, man, it's what I work for every year, dude. And then the snow hits, and it's like super peaceful up here.
Right on. Yeah. So you still got your channel up?
So right now I have a channel called The Usual Suspect.
Okay.
And that's my new channel. I killed off Liberty Bird and all the activism channels. Everything's done pretty much on that end, and now I'm just pretty much focusing in on. I think the direction I'm going right now is just to go after fucking these sick internet child predator fucks.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing, just mostly exposing that. And then I'll probably do some outdoorsy shit. Like I was actually trying to get out of YouTube. I'm sure that you've seen the YouTube suicide I committed. Yeah. That's freedom of speech at its finest, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. Like for those that want to tote the line of what's legal versus what's not, that one's huge. 1 second.
I think the right, for those people who aren't aware, there was an incident on his old channel, on Bird's old channel, where he, what's the best way of putting it? Demonstrated his right to end the channel. Now it all makes sense.
In an odd way.
Very odd way.
It was beyond odd. It was beyond odd. I mean, it was disgusting. It was vile. It was emotionally impactful.
Yeah.
It was a lot of things. It was also a psychological operation.
You know what's funny though?
I'll sort the link out and I'll put it in. If someone can find it for us, the mods. Do us a favour, put Danny's channel in, put South Alabama's, hippies, and everybody else's, and including
put Bird's new channel in there, so everybody can go
subscribe. The usual suspects.
Yeah, I'm easy to find, dude. I got a picture of Kaiser Sose on there from The Usual Suspects, right?
I don't even remember the fucking Usual Suspects. Is that what you said?
I remember the film.
Yeah, it was without the S, so it's just The Usual Suspect is my new channel.
Suspect, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you ever seen the movie, it's got a picture of what's that fucking dude's name, man? I don't even remember his name.
I don't know. Don't even know the movie.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
It is good. It is worth watching. It's an older one, about 1990s, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Was it early?
yeah, it was a late 90s
Was it
film.
earlier?
It was a late 90s film. I think it was like 98 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody thinks there's things like Pulp Fiction from the 90s. They'll think of good ones like that. Hey, Jaded, how you doing?
Yeah,
Kevin
the
Spacey.
good fellas. Yeah, Kevin Spacey. That's that dude's name. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
frick! Hey, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holy frick! It doesn't stop, man. The usual suspect.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which one is it?
And Danny, welcome to Why I Did What I Did. Right.
Hi, Gregory. How you doing, mate? I'll see if I can find it. I've got it somewhere.
No
Well,
worries.
I did find a bunch of them. It's just a matter of which one is it. You got any videos up yet?
Yeah, I got all kinds of videos on there and shit right now. Mostly it's all We the People Tyrant Wars stuff. So I've been playing. I've been playing with that dude for a little while now, and we'll just say that he likes me a lot. In fact, you might say that he's my #1 fan at the moment.
I think so too. Does most of the stuff I've seen up on his paperwork is from you.
Yeah. Yep.
But you know what though, when he's going around saying, well, would you do this for? Would you do that? You know what I mean? Like fucking, he's just going around the question. They didn't even do nothing. He's trying to make it look like they did something. Well, come on, man. Fucking come up with something better. That's my opinion. Sorry.
Sorry, I'll stop you guys from watching me eating here.
So yeah, 1995 the film was.
Was it? All right. So I wasn't too far off. 3 years off.
Still can't find your Sodden channel, or you've hidden it.
Yeah, I know. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll get you guys the link. Give me a second.
It's just what's
if you put it in private, I can copy and paste it.
Got you.
I wouldn't mind, but I subscribe to him as well, and I still can't find him.
Yeah, there's so many, man.
Legend, how you doing?
Yeah, you know what I wanted to do, like honestly. So after the whole fucking shit with me kind of dropping out of the drama community and trying to separate myself from that nonsense, and mind you, the whole reason is that I didn't want people trying to target my children. That was really my whole goal behind everything that I've done so far. And then it happened anyway.
Yeah, well, that's something which I could say that one side love doing is finding out as much information as possible about an individual and publicizing it, hanging around outside where they live, putting flyers up, which is absolutely amazing. First of all, it's costing them a lot of money.
Well, actually, so he wasn't putting flyers up. He mails them, right? So he does it all from the comfort of his home. Okay.
Oh, in that case, then it's even worse because it's costing him a fortune.
Well, not just that though, but if anything in those flyers is wrong, you are now using a federal institution, okay, crossing state lines with it, and then spamming, okay, defamation of somebody's person. It's absolutely a suitable offense. So yeah, that dude's in a fucking world of hurt by the time he actually gets got.
Right. I've just put the link in, guys. So please go check him out.
Now, not to interrupt. I'm sorry because I know I fucking do that a lot.
I know, but it's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm one of those guys. I want to kind of like steer you out of the thought though that you're running a drama panel at this point, because this isn't a drama panel. This is an active showcase of what it's like to abuse the First Amendment to a criminal level, right? Like,
well, yeah, we don't have the rights of free speech. We don't have those rights. So, I mean, okay, we've got quite a few American friends here, and we've probably got people who've got some understanding of the US Constitution, because it's based on what we once had, sort of unofficially, many, many years ago. But we don't have the same rights, which is one of the reasons why I'm in full support of the US Constitution, because I looked at it and I thought to myself, you know what, that makes perfect sense. Not all of it, but
you
overall.
do, Grim, you do. That's the deception, right? The deception is that you don't have inalienable rights. Those rights weren't given to us by a government. Those rights were given to us by a creator. Okay. And knowing that, it was only documented by a government, right? That's what made America so great. America says, you know what? There is an inalienable rights that are you inherit with life, right? The pursuit to life, liberty, and happiness. Like everybody is created equal, right? Like, yeah, you might have a disability that's going to prevent you from doing certain things other people do, but upon birth, everybody has an equal chance.
Yeah.
You know, these are inalienable things that can't be changed. They're like the law of gravity.
Well, as somebody who isn't religious in any way, shape, or form, you know, hi, Dark Shadows, how you doing, mate? There has to be something that created, and you know, even if it's just the idea of, well, Tony's put in natural law. I was thinking of physics and biology and things like this. You know, the natural way of things would be the thing.
What is consciousness?
You know, it's taken years and years and years to get to where we are. You know, and then we got dipshits. But hey ho, it's the way it goes. I suppose they got it right. Sorry, what was that, mate? What about consciousness?
No, and I said, what is consciousness? It's the great question, right? Like, what is consciousness, right? The very thing that has developed into morality and, you know, our physical thought and our thought processes. What is consciousness? You know, it's created to some degree. We didn't just develop it out of fucking, you know, the ether ourselves. So, I mean, I don't know. It's the equivalent of being in a simulation of some sort.
Yeah. Hi, Jacko. How are you doing? I can see. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, the thing is, what morals? You know, morals are what we think we believe in from our own principles, and I can't say that most people's principles are as strong as mine in certain aspects. In others, I mean, I've got a strong opinion on our rights and the fact that it doesn't matter which government you're under, your rights are being eroded away because we're allowing them to be eroded away because we don't use them.
Facts.
At the end of the day. And that's the problem I got. You know, legally, as I said before, many a time, the only place you got freedom of speech is at Speaker's Corner on a Sunday. But from a point of view of, you can say whatever you like. The question is, are you prepared to die by what you say? You know, would you put your life on the line to if you were in such a way that you wanted to fight for whatever it is? You know, you're that committed. You know, at the end of the day, when you're approaching my sort of age, since the Spanish Inquisition, yeah, of course I am. You know, I believe that we should have the right to freedom of speech. You know, and to exercise it. I think it's down to people who misinterpret it. You know, hiya, Homer. Great, thanks for coming in. You know, if you want to come up, and join in, by all means do so. If you want to spark up, then that's fine. Yeah, Dark Shadows is from Canada, and we're under siege right now by a tyrannical regime.
I hate to say it, but that's everything east of America.
Well, we're all in the same boat, I think, aren't we?
I don't want to throw the conversation off the side, but how do you guys find those new improvements on StreamYard?
What new improvements on StreamYard?
Well, you didn't notice them?
Oh, how it says
No.
preset instead of share screen?
On the bottom part there, well, you guys are probably on a computer, but it didn't change on the computer. On the phones, it changed, eh? Now it's mic, cam, chat, more, and leave. Instead of
Okay.
settings on the bottom.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it's been screwing up. I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I
But if you guys are
I haven't logged in on my phone to StreamYards in quite a while.
okay,
I've
so then
never
you
used
probably
it,
didn't see
so.
the changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason
So
told me.
that a lot of people are thinking that. Who the hell? I will say one thing: he's got more supporters. Sorry, subs than we've got, but I actually think that there are more people who just jump on the bandwagon.
Hold
Here
on.
we've got
who has
genuine
more
subs.
Who has more subs than you?
I think he does. I'm sure he does.
You talking about the We the Pedo Tyrant Wars?
We the people. Tyrant Wars.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Okay, so right now, so mind you, it was like 3 months ago. I started playing with this dude. He was under 500 subs, and then I started pushing his content and making a fool out of him. And now he's got up to 700 and some odd subs, right? So he's like 750 per se.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's definitely got more than we have.
Okay, but understand this: the majority of the people watching his channel right now are hate watching. They're people that are upset. Yeah, they're people from the fucking pedo catcher groups that I've been turning on to his channel because he's been doing weird internet child predator shit. So he's really not gaining new support. That's why he's not getting a ton more views. Most of these people are watching his videos in groups in a Discord. And then are ultimately, showcasing it for what to be looking out for weird, creepy motherfuckers that do weird things with people's information, especially regarding children.
Yeah, you got to take into effect, though, a lot of people are watching it to see if they can get some new dirt on other people.
Well, it's more dirt on me. It's all my trolls, dude. Like if you go through it and you just watch YouTube for a week, okay, it'll be everybody that hates fucking Bird that is all about that dude.
Well, you come on, Bird. You can't take all the credit, man. There's a couple odd ones that get kicked in there.
I mean, you had so he used to feature Salty Rant, and that was his big break, right? Was that everybody was like, okay, go get Salty, yay, and then they cheered him on with the Rick Crude thing. And like, I mean, I don't know, dude. If you guys need a fucking biography on the fucking the fucking pedo tyrant wars, feel free to fucking check out my channel, or just hit me up at libertybirdcra@gmail.com. And I got a ton of information already built up on this dude, and I imagine over the next 2 months, I'll have more than anybody ever fucking wanted me to have.
While you're thinking of that, I just put Hippie up, and he's showing his bikes off. How you doing, Hippie?
What's going on, guys?
Damn, you got a lot of bikes there.
Those aren't all mine.
The yellow one's his. Banana
this
one.
This one's mine.
That's CBR?
That's a VFR 800, man. Rocket ship and wheels.
Wow. Yeah, it looks like
all right. People see him coming from further off. It's yellow.
Hey, I just wanted to come up and say good stream. I'm not really a drama guy, but you guys are killing it. Love it.
No drama here. What do you mean?
I don't do drama. I just tell the truth.
Right. I mean, I hear you.
Yeah. But hey, do you know what?
I don't really know much about this guy, Tyrant Wars. So
you don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
It's literally parasites of the fucking platform.
Yeah. The thing is, if he wants to have a go at me and take me on, that's fine. I have no issues whatsoever. Right? But you don't carry on having a go or bringing other people into something that have got nothing to do with it. I've given him the opportunity. I am fair. Right? Given him the opportunity to come up here. Now, you go over to his channel in the next few days, you'll have some sort of clipping of this. Please go for it. I don't copyright. I won't put a claim in. I won't put in a complaint about you, right? Because every time you do that, you know what happens? People start coming over to here to see what it's all about.
That's how you got me.
No issue.
That's how you got me subbed here.
Well, listen,
So-
I'll go check out Bird's channel. I liked and subscribed and rang the bell. I'll check it out, see what it's all about. And you guys
Okey-dokey.
have good.
Yeah, you're still there, Hippie.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for popping up. I know you don't do drama, but I really do appreciate you popping up and saying
Well, no,
howdy.
I wanted to support you because you always support me. So I thought I'd swing in, smash that like, and chit chat before I go on my ride.
Well, you go and enjoy, and you're not the only one who's out on the road. Debo's gone out as well on the road.
Oh,
today.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. All right.
I
Well,
don't
you
know what
guys
he-
have a great day. Good
Watch
chat
out
with
for
you.
those blind people, Hippie. You know they
I
cut you
know,
off
I
a
know,
lot.
brother. I
You
know.
enjoy yourself. I
right.
might see you in the early hours. See you
Peace,
now.
guys.
Peace out.
Later, man. Yeah, hey, speaking of subscription, Grim, you know, I was subscribed to you, but I didn't get no notification. You want to know why? Because all of a sudden I wasn't subscribed no more, and I ended up going through Discord to get to your channel and realized I
Oh.
wasn't subscribed anymore. So what the fuck?
I think you should be playing silly bugs with people's subscriptions, and if you don't go and watch or you like or whatever, apparently they remove you after so long.
Yeah, but I got some subscriptions there since I started, right? And I
All them
haven't
years
watched
ago.
one video, and they're still there.
All right. Oh well.
That's what I don't
understand it.
understand. Like, there's some places that I like to go that I haven't been able to go because I've been unsubbed. Then when I end up going there, I resub, but it's screwed up. Like, there's something not right.
Yeah, I'll admit it, you're right. YouTube up to their old tricks again.
Yeah. I think they want to see how interested people are to see those channels maybe before they promote them, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but you know,
Yeah.
YouTube is YouTube. You know, do you know what? It's a good job. I really do. I mean, I care about people, about subs. I don't care about the numbers. It's when they come in here, they have a good time, they can relax and chill out. And tonight it's slightly different, but you know, on a normal show, it's all about having a giggle and a laugh. Today is a little bit more serious, but I am laughing at him because I honestly thought, hand on heart, hang on, where is it? I haven't got one. That he was going to turn up. Yeah, but if you want to have a side swipe, have a side swipe. But you know what? Is it worth it? Nah. Because you get some prat like me, it'll you know, upset you even more.
So,
and I know who you work for, and that's the funny thing. You know,
I'm just curious, Grim. What brought on the title? Like, what made you bring in?
I've been thinking about it for a while,
Right.
and I really just want. It's a way of saying thank you, but in a way that
Okay.
he understands. Or imagine
Yeah.
he probably won't, because it's there's a lot of sarcasm behind it. But without you, I wouldn't have got to where I am at this present moment in time. I mean, look, I've got a couple of people I've not spoke to on here before. Right? I spoke to them over in the pond, the other side, on different channels, but it's the first time they come over here. It's great. So thank you.
I know one thing though. A lot of the people that I've seen in chat are from over at Hippies.
Yes.
So that's where I originally, I think, got yours. Unless I was subscribed before that. I can't remember for sure, but I know I had resubscribed from on Hippies, and then I had to do it again today.
Oh, bloody YouTube.
Maybe it's that Canadian CRTC crap.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
they're regulating the amount of outside material that, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it's me. It's a bunch of bullshit. Pardon language, but
what's truth? You here, Hippie sent me. What's truth? You're welcome to come up, mate. You know that. And anybody else. I don't mind whether you're from over here or over there. It makes no difference.
Hippie sent you. Let me see. I got to fucking check something now. Hippie sent me.
There you are. I'll make it a little bit easier. Put it up for you. Yeah, sarcasm. I understand that.
Ah,
That's
okay. Hey, hey, sarcasm is what he's doing because I went through his Discord to get here.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think I put the link on there enough everywhere, I think, including What's Truth. But it's great to see so many people in here, always getting on, even new people, people who I've never seen before, and they come back. It's great, and that's what I want to see. If you enjoy yourselves, you'll come back. As simple as that.
You know what?
Tonight's not really gone that way in the way of drama. I honestly thought, as I say, it just might have come up, but you're right. He's a coward.
It's that English accent that draws them in.
Okay. Well, I've been accused of being a Londoner today. Now, the guys on this side.
Yeah, no,
will know.
it wasn't an accusation. It was more of an inquiry.
No. You did say you're from London. In a roundabout way.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like someone from London. I'm not from
Yeah.
London. I'm about 200 knots, maybe more miles away from London. I hate London.
So it'd be the dialect of me coming across like, I'm talking like your fucking uncle, huh? You fucking mooly, huh? Huh?
Sorry, did you say something?
that's another dialect out of the East Coast, right? They all sound like they got something caught in their fucking throat. I call it a bag of dicks, but
Well, as I say, I mean, I've listened to loads of different accents, and I don't necessarily get the two together. I have to keep thinking. Agent is from Texas, which he sounds to me like someone from New York. And I don't mean any disrespect. It's just how I see it.
yeah, and that's totally two different fucking accents for sure.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how thick the accent is. What's this? I'm willing to die to bring freedom back to my country. They might beat me, they might jail me. However, they will never silence the revolution. Power to the people.
So let me ask a question about that, Grim.
Yep.
Who are you fighting?
It's a good question, that. I'll tell you what I'm fighting. The tyranny which goes on.
Okay, so again, let me ask the question then. Who are you fighting?
Government.
Unfortunately, I think it's. I would say that it was individuals that make other people bad.
So, you sure it's not individuals? Hey, are you sure it's not individuals that are in power that took over that were just basically like that from the get-go and ended up being there? And now they're making the rules, and it's not too fun.
Okay, so I've got this theory that whoever you vote for, the government always gets in.
There it is. All right, so I'm an American, so I can only take this from an American standpoint, Grim. Okay.
Yeah.
But the tree of liberty has to be fed with the blood of patriots. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we believe here in America. That is the core belief of America. Now, how did that come about? That came about because we were tired of being under British rule. Right?
Yeah.
So knowing that, it is the form of governments in which we are fighting against. Mm-hmm. The question is who are you fighting? Are you fighting your local governance? Because personally, that is where we, the people, have the most influence and control, is over our local precincts, is over our local city councils, versus we have the federal level. And then once we get past the federal level, we have the globalism level. So who are you fighting? You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, this world would be better off if you strung up people like Bill Gates, you know what I mean? And the Rockefellers and so on, right? Those who have versus those who do not, and those who continue to make sure that they have and that their future generations will have when, in fact, yours will not.
Yes, this is something that I would dearly love to get into an even greater discussion, because you and I are probably on the same page with regards to that, but it doesn't fall in the terms of service, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But we will take it up. We'll put it onto psyop.tv. That
There you
way, anybody and everybody who goes over there can actually hear the truth.
I just want people to think about local versus worldly, right? And that's the problem, is that America might be the last place on this planet that still allows people to have firearms. The Second Amendment will never change, because people like me will say, over my cold dead body. Now, the problem is that the worldly level, right? The UN, the United Nations, the agenda of global governance is happening right before our very eyes. And it happens with disarming people's ability to protect themselves. What happened, in the UK once guns became illegal? Stabbings went through the fucking roof.
Well, we've never had legal firearms. Sorry, firearms in the same way we have legal firearms. You have to apply for a license, etc., and you have to fit certain criteria. You with me? However, I'm a firm believer that if you had the right, as you have in America, to bear arms, then I would say that would entitle you to have access to a weapon if you need to. And I'm not talking about blatant murder and things like that. I'm talking about if someone was to break in, etc., or
self-protection. Yes.
Worst case scenario, you got the call up to go to support NATO wherever they are. You at least got the basic knowledge of a weapon before you get there. It does help.
Dude, I have a weapon in arm's reach at all times, Grim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do, but you're not allowed to. This is
that's harsh for you.
There's because we're ruled by law. What it says is that you are allowed to use reasonable force when defending yourself. It's about where it is, reasonable force. But reasonable and law don't meet. So it's down to someone's interpretation, for starters. So then you got the arguments in a court of law as to what is the right interpretation and what is a fair interpretation. There was a farmer, quite old. I think he was past, it was somewhere between 65 and 70 at the time. He heard something. He heard burglars out on his farm in the middle of nowhere. He warned them that he had a shotgun and he would use it to defend. One of them got hurt and he was charged with attempted manslaughter. It went to court. Eventually, he was found not guilty, which was the right decision, because he gave fair warning and they did not get away quick enough. And when he fired, because he was using a standard double-barrel shotgun or a single-barrel shotgun, of course, the pellets still caught one of the intruders. Now, how that can be attempted murder, I don't know. But that's the way that it was seen. Personally, I think that was a waste of public money. But yeah, we have to prove it. You're lucky over there, guys. You don't have the same regulations, etc.
Well, no, I mean, here we have to prove it. I mean, so let's face it. Like, say an intruder comes into my home, okay, and I dispatch said intruder. Right now, that's under the pretext that I'm in fear of my life. If I am like, I'm not afraid of you, bop, 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 you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, I'm not afraid of my life, right? So, the laws are rough no matter how you present it. But I mean, what it breaks down to is integrity, honor, right? Like with rights come a responsibility. Like, I didn't just inherit inalienable rights that said that I have the right to defend myself because God gave me that ability, right? So I have the right. And not just that, but I have a responsibility to also preserve the life of others. to not
Yeah.
take life when it's not necessary. I mean, that should be a last resort, right? You shouldn't just dispatch somebody because they enter into your home. You should dispatch them because they enter your home and they refuse to leave, and you're in fear for the lives of those around you.
Yeah, but hey, right there, right? That takes into effect the police that are just shooting willy-nilly and don't care if they kill or not. It's a life and death situation, so they say.
Right.
Well, I think the problem is I said this last night because I showed something where a cop had shot at a car that was driving away at McDonald's. The guy's no longer working for the local PD there, but there's another guy who got 38 shots and he was carrying a penknife, and it's unclear as to whether the police who were 20 feet away or whatever were actually in danger, but apparently they were, according to the police chief. So there's two sides of the same coin, so to speak. You know,
But hey, you know, if ever the Civil War,
it's not the gun that kills people; it's the person pulling the trigger.
Amen.
yeah. But you know, if ever a
So
Civil
what's wrong
War,
with having a gun? Sorry, mate. Yeah.
no, it's okay. Are you done this time?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
wanna cut you off
no,
again.
I was
Okay.
coming back to you.
Yeah, no, what I was going to say is if ever a civil war breaks out into a country that has the right to bear arms, you know what's going to happen if the government starts losing? Another government is going to step in and help them out. And that's what's happening in all these countries where wars are happening.
Well, kind of, sort of. I mean, take Ukraine, for example, Danny. Ukraine started arming citizens. Okay. Now think about this too. Like something else I know is that here in America, dude, we have a constitutionally appointed authority. Okay. That, in my opinion, is the way that it should be. And honestly, we shouldn't have city police here. We shouldn't have, security police. We should have the sheriff's department. We should have deputies, right? It's an extension of the enforcement of the Constitution. Now, that being said, sheriffs across this nation will deputize citizens and make them police to ensure that they can maintain their right to firearms if the government tries to steal that right.
Yeah.
And that's what we count on.
When they start abusing that right.
And that's it. Like that's dude, you know when fucking and this is happening right now in America. So you should be concerned, America, okay? Is that as these infringing laws are getting pushed into fucking Congress, our sheriffs are saying, no, we will not enforce that. Now that is when you have a real issue, right? Because division within our government, okay, is
breaking down.
It shows that it's breaking down. But make sure that you're standing on the side of, the Constitution. Otherwise, you won't have a right, right? We'll be the Czech Republic after this.
Yeah. And did you know something else too? The way they're doing it is they're incorporating certain laws into another category, right? That way there, it's hidden from the public and you don't see it until the very last minute and it's too late because then they pull that friggin' law out. Well, here in agricultural, it says you're only allowed to use it for, you know what I mean? Or just as an example.
Yeah, but I mean, I think to your point on that is how many people are talking about the fact that the Obama administration had signed a UN agreement saying that they would disarm America.
Oh, yeah.
How come we're not talking about that?
Because it's being hidden.
And that's the point that you made.
I've got to be honest. I don't think any government, because you have, if I said strange setup, different setup to us, but in some ways it's similar because you still got two houses before something can become law. It's not a question of the president saying, "Oh, I agree with this, therefore I'm going to make it law." I don't think you'll ever lose any of the Constitution, if I'm honest, because I didn't think law could override the Constitution.
We're losing it every day, Grim. We're losing it every day. I mean,
no,
Good.
The Constitution is written in stone, well, written on paper, but it's what every American lives by or supposed to live by. Let's face it, I think near enough every day in schools they pledge allegiance to the flag and the country, etc., and the Constitution. Don't quote me on that. But I would also say that because of that, because people are fully aware of it, some people might say it's it's an indoctrination of a system. But ignore that for a second. Kids are taught it, so therefore, how can you change it? I mean, what law can override the Constitution?
Let me tell you how they're changing it, and I'll use President Biden's statements to do it. He claims that the Constitution represents the government, not the people. And that's how they are utilizing it to change. When government has the power of the Constitution, and then suddenly the Constitution doesn't apply to we the people, is how it becomes infringing on, the American right.
But you've got federal law, you've got state law, you've got local law, or province law, whatever label.
Or ordinance and policy. Yes.
Yeah. Now I don't know what an ordinance is. I mean, that could be a law.
Yeah,
right?
No, but it's not, right? So that's the problem, is that as you go from the governing federal level down to the state level, right? States by Constitution have the right to create their own laws. Now, those states now in turn have allowed cities to create their own policies and ordinances. Ordinances such as you have to be, anyone under the age of 18 has to be inside a household by 10 o'clock. It's a curfew, right? An ordinance. And then they run this with their policies. And that's the problem, is that on a local level, ordinance and policy is appearing to supersede law.
Got you. Now I understand, yeah.
And that's where the problem starts.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah, especially your federal law.
Now
I got your Constitution, right?
I gotta go, but I want to leave you guys with just a brief thought for a little wisdom that you might want to take in for the day. All right, and that is the American Revolution. Right, the Revolutionary War was started with just a few good men. The population was a lot smaller back then. It's going to take a lot more of us nowadays. United we stand, divided we fall. Thanks for having me, Graham.
No worries, mate. Anytime. Take care now. Thanks for going up.
Right on, man.
He's right, divided, united we win, divided we fall. That's the trouble. And when you got people like we did, Tyrant, idiot, causing divide, and other elements of being in the community, and they want to divide us, we're never going to be together. We're never going to be united.
That's how the Canadian government here is trying to treat the people. They're trying to divide them up.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody. Well, if I just look back, a few months or so ago, you had the biggest car park with lorries anywhere, and it more or less became martial law because the government didn't know what to do. How dare these lorry drivers park their vehicles there in protest? How dare anybody protest against what we say? I'm not sure when the Canadian Prime Minister came over here to the UK. I would have thought it would have been for the funeral.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, that fella.
Makes sense. Well, you come over to Great Britain and make the news one way or another.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not too hard for him to do it though. right?
Possibly. I've got to be honest. I don't know who it is. To be honest, is it the same guy who went against the truck drivers?
Yeah,
Oh well, it's him. He
yeah,
doesn't. You're right. Every time he opens his mouth, he
yeah.
makes himself out to be a bit of a buffoon,
Right.
allegedly.
He's got the black face thing, and he's got like a tickle trunk there full of different costumes for when he goes to different countries.
Right. Oh, sort of makes sense. That. Yeah. Try and fit in. Do this. Do that. Try not to
Yeah.
make a total fool of myself, but he does. I mean, I do it every Friday. So, and usually every time I go on a panel, to be honest, I've got to admit, I even got coaxed once, and I'm sure it's around somewhere, me croaking along to a song or two.
Who was it?
I think I was on Hippies. Anne-Marie came in from the UK, and she's from Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, of course, I know how much she likes the Beatles. So I suggested that they played a Beatles track, and I ended up joining in. There's a couple of them on the bounce. And then she announced, "Oh, I don't like the Beatles." I says, "I know. Why do you think I did it?" So I'm the same here as I am over to the States, as you've probably realised, Danny. I'm probably a little bit more comfortable on this show. So to
Yeah,
speak,
I'm in
being-
Canada, man. So
Yeah, but you go all over the place, you know.
yeah, I
You
suppose.
go, you're a bit like Wandering Hippie and a few others. You know, you go to different areas, but at heart, you've got the same goal, which is what I'm referring to. Is we don't need to be divided. You know, if we've got the same goal, let's go for it. You know, let's
Yeah,
get the word out there and get a few people to realise that you know, there is a third choice between taking the red pill or the blue pill. That's taking neither and seeing life for what it is.
yeah.
You know, at the end of the day. And yes, it is a bag of shit at the moment, but hey, we do what we do.
Yep.
And if the UK goes to 3-day shortage of electricity and gas, if that ever happens, then there's going to be a lot of young children not happy who use the internet a lot. And I'm not talking about people like me.
See, that'll be another way.
Stuff.
That'll be another way for them to control how often people get information online. Unless you
What
got a
the last
backup
2 years is
generator,
all about,
right?
you know. Hi, Crafty.
Hi,
How are you
Crafty.
doing?
Crafty will come up.
I'm really pleased to see you over here. It's nice of you to drop by. Same as it is with everybody else, but Crafty's not one of the regulars. It's great to see her come in. I forgot what we were saying now. Sorry, I got sidetracked. It happens a lot. I've got a 5-second memory at times.
Well, that's all right.
Like any prime minister. Or president, for that matter. Do you know, it's a happy full moon. I didn't realise it was a full moon. You show off and I look up in the sky. Yeah.
Supposed to be on the night here.
Well, yeah, it's at different times, isn't it? The full moon, I suppose, wherever you look at it.
Full moon, yeah. Once it's full, then it starts to disappear again.
Yes.
It's only full for like an hour or so.
Yeah. I must admit, I like the eclipses. I think they're good. Only because it tends to black out half the world.
Which ones, the sun eclipses or moon eclipses?
And the sun eclipses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen a full one once, and that was it.
Yeah.
Back in the, I think it was the
I've a little tip. If you look at the moon eclipse and or the sun eclipse, whichever way around it, you've just got to make sure that you don't look directly into the light.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. The only time. If you want to come up, Crafty, the link is pinned at the top. You know, I'll just ask you to do a jiggle and that lot before you come up. I'm only joking.
Hey,
I'm
no
the sort of-
interactions behind the scenes. Come on.
Well, no, there's never an interaction behind the scenes. That's a general rule. Unless it's the dog making a stupid noise in the background. God, she's asleep.
Next thing you know, people will start treating it like when you go to a club there and they search you to make sure you ain't got no weapons or anything going into the club.
No, well, they might do eventually. Usually get patted down on the way out.
The way out. Oh, people like to take the mugs and stuff.
There are some places like that.
Yeah.
Oh God, I like that one. Yeah, sorry, speaking. I've got to put that one up. For fuck's sake, that's what I've been doing wrong. I always look in the lights.
Yeah.
If there's anybody who actually read this stuff backwards, you're doing better than me, by the way, because I don't know why something's gone wrong and you're seeing it backwards, or you might actually be seeing it correct. Because I'm looking at it on StreamYards, it just looks a little bit wrong. Sorry.
No, it looks right. You're just streaming through them too fast. Some of us slow readers can't read that quick.
Oh.
So your time for your slides should be a little bit further apart.
Would you like 5 minutes?
No, that's way too long.
Sorry,
right? Some of us like to look at the detail and then all of a sudden, well, where the fuck the picture go? Right?
I'm sure I can probably sort that if I can figure out how to do it.
Right. I think you got it set for like 10 seconds, maybe double it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
idea.
everybody else is just fast readers and they ain't bothering them, but.
Well, if people want to read some of the stuff, then that's fine. Don't have a problem with that. You know, I'd say I'm looking at it from back to front. And I wouldn't mind. I designed some of these, and I can't remember what I've done.
Yeah, well, what I was going to ask, right? Are these stuff you did on Midjourney, or did you do it on your own program?
Some of it I borrowed or relocated.
Right.
Like that one. This just there. And some of them either I designed or other people designed for me.
Right.
And I've just put them all together in one folder. I mean, there's the female one of the Grim Reaper, allegedly. You see, I'm not sexist, contrary to popular belief, you know. But there again, I could be. So, what do you like about YouTube, Danny?
Well, it's a place to talk to people, man. See their point of view on different things. Interact, socialize, because I'm a very social person, right? I always socialize with different groups all the time.
Well, what do you hate about it?
What I hate about it? People stop acting like fucking big babies, like they're at fucking kindergarten, picking it on each other. You know what I mean? Like fucking wah wah wah. He did this, he did that. Oh, he's saying this. He's right. Like fuck. People's gotta calm down.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first.
Well,
Danny acting.
that's my
Danny
opinion.
doing an impersonation of school children, stroke Karens, right? Going on about crap. School ground politics, I call it. Yes, all right, I'm guilty of it today, but you know what? I don't care. It's a one-off, you know. I won't mention that idiot again if he doesn't start. If he, leaves me alone, I'll leave you alone. Theoretically,
Yeah.
don't pick on people like Curious Bunny for just because you don't like the truth. Mind you, I can think about that with some others. I mean, what's talking about truth? What's truth has been attacked for is he's got a memes website. It's a freebie type thing, and apparently people keep trying to take that down rather than looking at people like the clown. But I always thought that those two sort of sides work together anyway. The way it comes across over here, well, to me anyway. But hey,
I don't know.
I'm so glad you finally admitted that, Danny. I will remind you.
What's that?
You don't know that much.
Yeah. No, I don't know. No.
I just pick up on words, you see, and you can't deny you didn't say it because it's always going to be there.
That's all right.
Danny Williams doesn't know too much.
No, I don't, honestly.
On anything, that is, by the way.
Well, no, I know a little bit on lots of stuff. Maybe a little bit more on certain things than others, but yeah. On that point, I don't know, right?
In which case, we would call you a jack of all trades, right?
Master
and a master of none.
Yeah.
Danny's new here. Listen, I don't care whether Danny's been around for years. He gets the same treatment as anybody and everybody else.
It's all good. I don't expect special treatment, right?
Well, I mean, I thought you were going to say, then follow on. It's not my fault I'm a Canadian. It's where I was born.
Yeah, well, that too. I just don't try to bring it in the picture too much.
Hey, you don't get insulted, or do you get insulted if someone would accuse you of being an American?
American?
Your accent.
Well, we are Americans.
We're
North Americans. The people, yeah, we're all North Americans. People in the States seem to think that they're the Americans, but they're not the only Americans. They live underneath us, and we're in North America. The continent,
so what's it,
not the country.
I was going to say, what's it like being on top of the Americans? You see, I can get into so much trouble by people, you know what I mean? I say at times. But I can always flip it and say, well, they're more central.
Well, see, the thing is a lot of people are take things too serious. Also, right?
Well, ask any of the regulars that come in here, or any of the regulars who I talk to, and they'll tell you I can't take that much serious. Somewhere along the line is a one-liner. Just ask Purple Spliff there. I will always come out with a one-liner. Some people take it the way it's meant in jest. Some people take it the wrong way. But that's down to them. It's one of those. And so, some people ban me on the basis, I don't agree with what you just said. All right, fair enough. No offense was intended. Yeah.
I don't get offended very often. When I do, I let people know. That's all.
Yeah. I do like that comment, by the way, from Crafty. Nope. Too true. They just don't understand land geography. I would say that they forgot about geography. To be honest, either that or it was they didn't learn it.
Well, no.
Crafty believes in the speech. I don't fault that. I can't fault it. There's a lot of people who say to me, well, you agree with freedom, you want freedom of speech, but you won't let certain areas of people speak. because of their past, etc., or because I don't like them. You know, I like most people. The only people who can turn me away from them is people themselves who talk to me. You know, I treat people with respect. All right, even I'll have a laugh and a joke with people, but sometimes they don't see it as being funny. But you know, I can't help that. You know, I am who I am. You know, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
And I've been like this for many years. And to a few people, I'm an old git. I'm a boring old git. I don't have a problem with that. Call me names. I don't mind. You know, what's this?
Yeah,
You put
after a while, names don't bother us anymore. It's like, yeah, shit happens. Oh well.
exactly. Freedom of freedom to post people's information while blocking the fella whose information is being doxed. Freedom of speech at its finest. Yes, yes. Like I was saying, we have conflicts, division on this side of the water, and they really, you know, I think people need to look at what's happening over in the States and to a certain extent in Canada as well. No disrespect to any Canadian or American. Have a look at the way that they treat each other at times. You know, you've got one group who likes going around causing trouble by reporting people for being on the internet. Simple. And they're
Yeah.
a bad parent because they're on the internet. So we have social services over here run by the local councils. Over there, they've got child protection services, and they're quite, you know, they ring them and drop as soon as they find their address or the name, and they try to cause trouble that way. And like I said earlier, it's going to get to a stage where if you open the door, someone's going to pull the trigger, unfortunately, because people are just jealous, you know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And then you get somebody like me, like Crafty's put. I'm not saying that you're aiming at me, by the way, Crafty, or anybody else. People do not understand British dry humour. You're right, they don't. And they don't understand sarcasm either, which makes it even worse. Some of them do. I've come across some people who do understand sarcasm, and they're sarcastic back, which is always good fun. But some people really don't give anything. They don't care. They just take it the wrong way, and then they start making stupid things. You know. What's that, Kim? Just see. Oh, hang on. Kim usually comes out with a good one-liner. Wouldn't change you for the world, Grim. It's a bit. It's been interesting and chilled while listening to. Well, I try to occasionally hit every. You know, what's the word I'm thinking?
Not sure. You remember? I don't know.
No. Hang on. Well, don't you start with me. I'll kick you off. I have that button, you know. No, seriously. People don't understand where I'm coming from. It's bad enough I'm trying to understand my accent at times, you know, especially when they think I'm a southerner. But hey, you know,
Thinking
not
of
their
what?
fault.
Did you say a southerner?
Southerner, yeah, as in down London way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're a very small country, but we've
Yeah.
got a very big population, allegedly. But if we go to 3 days without power, I think in about 9 months' time we'll have another baby boom.
Is that because shortage of power, or is that because storms or something?
Yeah, it's because our wonderful government have made the wrong decisions in the past. So
Oh.
now there's a strong likelihood, they're blaming it on the Ukraine situation.
Yeah.
So we may get a reduction in gas that we need to power our generators to produce electricity, etc.
Right.
So in order to conserve the gas and electricity, it means that they'll be cutting power supplies off, usually in the evening, so it doesn't affect too many people working. Strange, that one, isn't it? You
Yeah,
think they would do it
yeah,
during
they're
the day.
trying to do freeze people at night.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember the last time it happened. And I thought it was fun because it was great fun walking around with a candle when I was young.
With a candle, as long as the house is warm, it's not too
Oh,
bad.
no,
But you know
no,
what I
yeah,
mean?
well,
Winter's coming.
unfortunately, we had gas central heating at the time, so it was bloody freezing. So for me, being a youngster, the sooner I got into my bed, the better, you know.
Yeah.
If it happens now, I'll probably end up having to get the duvet out and I'll cuddle up to the wife. She'll actually see me more often, I suppose. I'm glad you think that's funny. It's actually quite serious.
Well, no, I know, but
Potentially.
yeah, that's how you said it. Well, you
But
even
we've all got
admitted it.
hobbies.
You even
you know,
admitted it. Potential, you said.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know. I mean, I won't know until after duck. But oh yes, that was what it was called. Thanks for reminding me, Tony. Yeah, we remember the winter of discontent. Yeah, it was actually caused through the Tories in power at the time. Not as the way it's been written, that it was the miners' fault. It wasn't their fault at all. You know, they had a right to withdraw their labour and to get a better pay rise and better working conditions. You know, if I remember right, one of the problems was there was no showers on site, etc.
What? No showers after coming out of the mine?
Yeah, I mean, we are going back to like the 70s. But yeah, I mean, the standards of safety, etc., is nowhere near where it is now. But guess what we did? First opportunity, we denationalised all of our industries that Britain was known for, and we put into private hands.
Yeah.
The theory was that British companies would take it up. In reality, what's happened over the years is we don't own jack shit over here, and there's
foreign countries bought the businesses. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing that's happening all over the place, really.
Yeah. I think you can say that the majority of big companies are owned outside of the UK, which is the reason why they don't like paying tax over here. So they have financial wizards who get them out of tax here, and then when they go over to where they're registered, they say, yeah, but we're supporting this company and this company and this company. We bought them, so they can write it off to tax, so you don't pay as much over there either.
Yeah.
Simple economics, as they say. You know. Kim, they can't do for 3 days. They can do anything they want. Because who are we to argue against? You know? What can we do? Well, we've got no power, we can't object. Simple. You know. I think it's a rumor. I don't think there's any truth behind it, but you never know. I wouldn't put anything past our wonderful governments, you know, to try and pull the wool over our eyes. And notice, guys, I try not to mention the British government too much because I honestly believe all governments are corrupt. And I understand what Bird was saying earlier. I didn't get a chance to say it. In some ways, I agree with the theory we should look at what we can control rather than what we can't control. But there again, if we act within the terms of service of one of the biggest social media sites, I'm sure someone will put two and two together and realise that they can do anything they want. They can go out and protest. They can challenge what's being done, etc. You know, and we've got this wonderful voting system. So if nobody voted, nobody would get in. But the government would still get in. The local government would still get in, and we'll still get ripped off.
They just vote for one another.
So where you live in Canada, does it get very cold with snow, etc.?
Yeah, eventually, yeah. The nights here are, well, around zero. Freezing point.
You're not in that part of Canada that you see very little light.
No, not that far.
Right, so you're not in the vampire area.
No.
I watched a couple of films around that. And, if anyone believes in vampires, by the way, move over to northern Canada. It's great. Yeah. Here's another strike. Yeah, I remember that as well. Remember this the NIF of the bin men strikes. Yes, that was before they invented plastic bags as well. And if there were such a thing, what would happen is there was that many dogs around not being fed. It was lunchtime, you know, at the end of the day. Yeah, they ripped the bags open because they could smell something, and it would be all over the place. So the council ended up having to try and get people to tidy it up and put it into bins that hadn't been emptied. All makes perfect sense, you know. Crafty, come on up. Come and say hello. Introduce yourself to the people who haven't come across you before.
You see what Spooky wrote? Most Canadian skins are made of leather. Oh, fuck. No,
they wear a lot of leather. It's all the animals which they have to kill and store and whatnot. You've got to do something with the fur. Can't sell it. I think it depends. Yeah, I mean, people think here's we have cold winters. I actually like the cold. I don't like the sun. I hate it.
When it reflects off the snow, it's bright.
Yes. Yeah.
You need shades.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can blind you. You know.
Snow blind.
So, yeah, snow blindness. Yes. Crafty, it's raining a bit and it's quite cold where you are. I don't know what part you're referring to because I don't know the area personally.
Southern Ontario.
Southern Ontario. Thank you.
Yeah.
That means absolutely nothing to me because is it?
Google Canadian map and have a look.
I think the only place I've heard, until I started frequenting YouTube, I'd heard of what's the capital city? Come to me in a minute.
Ottawa.
That's the one. Thank you. Do you know why? Because they released a single. Oh no, that was Ottawa.
What?
DISCO.
I'm sure it wasn't over the truckers and stuff.
No. It was years and years and years ago. It was a single that came out that was by Ottawa. And I asked somebody where Ottawa was, and he said, "Oh, it's in Canada." I said, "Oh, right, okay." Whereabouts it is.
I never
remember the song.
It's a song. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the group was called Ottawa, and the song was called DISCO. Have a look on it on YouTube. It's one of the 70s disco tunes. It made an absolute hit in the clubs that I went to and played at the time. But it was a crap song.
Yeah.
But
That's
it got
probably
people
why
on
I
the dance
haven't
floor.
heard it.
Yeah. If you did like commercial disco stuff, then you wouldn't have heard it. You know,
A
I
little
hated
bit.
having to play it, but at the end of the day, that was my job at the time. So,
Yeah.
you know, I preferred rock, real rock.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah.
Which is now referred to as soft rock because it's from from the 60s and 70s. You know, I think somebody needs to understand what the difference is between soft rock and hard rock.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a big difference.
There is. You know, you got the commercialized side of things, but I think everybody ended up going that way eventually.
Well, it's the same thing as country music nowadays. It's got like a dance beat to it. Almost a lot of the new country music is like that, right? It's weird, but when I have the radio on, that's what my passengers like to listen to, even though they're not supposed to listen to the radio.
Okay. We've still got loads of people watching. What's going on? Danny, you're obviously a star over here, sir, so you'll have to come back.
It's not me, man. It's not me. No.
Well, it's not me. I mean, there's only you here. You know, I do this every now and again, you know.
That's
And
all
I don't
good.
normally do a Sunday either. For those people who think this is going to be a regular thing, it's not. It started off as a little bit of a piss take, excuse my French, but it's ended up, as it always does, with a bit of fun and laughter. You know.
Sure.
What's that,
Why
the
not?
UK? Like a little two-step.
Two-step. Step one, skip church. Step two, pull a panel. Right?
Step
1, 2.
one, walk into a church in my case and watch it fall down. Step two, open up a panel.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
went into
another thing too. Hey, can you believe that though? Right when that BC thing came out there about the children's grave and that the indigenous children's grave and that, right? They burnt
right.
churches and that, and the government pretty much allowed for it to happen. Okay, and then they turn around and find out that that story was not accurate.
Why does that not surprise me? Let's take that one step further. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you remember back in the 60s, late 60s, all these moon landings?
No.
Oh, right. Have you ever seen any of the footage?
Of what? The moon landings and that?
Yeah.
Some of it, yeah, and some of it just don't make no sense to me. But then I could probably always change the story around too and add a little bit of information that I would opinionate.
Well, that's fine. I'm just going to ask you something. Next time you look at it, and anybody else, if you look at the original footage, which is available still on YouTube, and you're not taking it down yet, just have a look and count how many stars you see. There'll be a very round number. Yet we can see stars from here, but you couldn't see them from the moon. They forgot to put them up there in the studio, allegedly. I do remember the moon landings, and I must admit, I thought it was a film. It just went on. I enjoyed watching the takeoff and watching the splash downs.
Well, hey, do you remember when the Twin Towers got hit by the planes? That looked exactly like a film. You were watching it on the news, but it looked like a film.
Unfortunately, I can honestly say it wasn't.
No, I know, but you know what I mean? It's like people are so used to seeing things like that in movies. When it happens, it doesn't affect them as much as it should.
No, no. Back in the 50s, before my time, before anybody says anything, there was an American radio show that came on, and it was entitled War of the Worlds.
Yep. Yep.
The problem was the radio show did not announce it. They went
Like Orson
straight
Welles.
into it.
Yeah.
And people honestly thought that the world, stroke the USA, was being invaded by aliens. And it
Yes.
wasn't transmitted on April 1st either. So it wasn't an April Fool's joke. But I mean, the theory behind it was that people came in late and didn't hear the beginning. But I've not actually been able to find anything which confirms that there was a warning about it being a radio show at the time or a story that they put together.
Yeah,
But I
it
mean,
was Orson Welles.
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
it was. You're right, Tony. Let me
I
think
heard
about that. Oh, spooky. I'm not doing flat earthers. I'm sorry. I haven't got my steamroller.
You come up.
Oh,
You
spooky
want to
doesn't
talk about
come
it.
up. Spooky doesn't come up.
Akron?
Hardly anybody comes up. You know, one of the. This is why it's so chilled, I think, because we can have a conversation. Occasionally we'll get a few people up, but I just let people talk. You know, while they're talking, I don't need to. You know, it's entertaining enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, the regulars will tell you that. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully
Yeah, but
they'll give me a glowing report.
yeah, but they come over to hear you talking though.
Can we agree to disagree on that? Because
I
I
don't
just
know.
talk. I just talk a lot of crap.
Ask your chat. Ask your chat.
Yeah. Oh, we got a celebrity in. Fake Mike, real news. I'm only joking. He's not a celebrity. He's just a nice guy. If you want to
Mike,
come up, Fake Mike, the link is pinned at the top. Same for everybody. Anybody wants to come in, it's have a go at Grim Day. You know, unless your name's We the People Tyrant War, in which case it's come up if you dare. You know, we're going for 2 hours and a quarter, and he still hasn't turned up. Miserable so and so. You know, hiding behind your YouTube channel where nobody's allowed to comment. Why?
no comment, no chat at that.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing. It's like, I am dictating to you, blah, 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 blah. You know, I would show you a little bit more about him, but I'm not allowed to because he could report us, you know, for using his material. Even though he's allowed to use my material or take the piss out of it, attempt to, or whatever, you know. Conspiracy Music, how are you doing, mate? Same invitation to you, to everybody else. Please come on up if you so wish. I know you've got a song or two, or a tune or two.
I was just gonna say he could change the tune around for everybody.
Yeah, you get more people in. Has Grandad escaped from the dungeon? I don't know. I've not seen him. To be honest, I've not heard him either. So he could be asleep tonight. And the other guy, Stangu, I've not seen him around for ages. Last time I saw him, he was in the dungeon. I don't know what's happening down there. We seem to be losing people. You know, but hashtag free Grandad, because I kept him in the dungeon, hasn't worked. He'll be allowed out next Friday, though. Standing joke at the moment between me and the guy who helps us out, Grandad. He comes up every now and again, he says hello, and then he goes back down. I think he's waiting for us to sort out psyops before he comes out and starts talking, etc.
Speaking of your psyops channel, have you posted anything in there?
There's a lot of posts in there. The way that it works is that as soon as one person is who's signed up has got a channel, everybody can see it.
Okay.
So
my question to you is, how are people getting notified? Because I haven't had any notifications whatsoever, and I haven't gone back to check it out.
Right. Part of the problem is regarding PSYOP is that we've had to make some changes to the way that people sign up, and we're working on that so that it gets a little bit. There's a few other things which are going on, which I can't talk about at the moment because they're at the very start of discussions. But yeah, it is something we are aware of.
Did you add a different way of signing up, like through a different medium kind of thing?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Anyone can go to PSYOP. Mrs. J's just popped in and she's put the link in the chat. It's as you put it, a beta channel. It's the easiest way of putting it. Yes.
Beta?
We've gone through. Yeah, well, beta. When you bring something out new, if you put it out too soon, properly, it can end up folding because software issues, etc., or with this sort of thing, it could be to do with space. So we've got to work with what we've got, and still we're going to be promoting it. And what I want to do is to start some lives off here and maybe go over to PSYOP so that people can still continue, but we can have some real conversations. You know, we've got quite a few people testing it. Mrs. J is one of the testers. Another one, a few other people. Yeah, it's just go over. It's you'll find stuff on there which you wouldn't normally see potentially on YouTube because it's not allowed. You know. But what we want to do is to make it big enough so that we can get other creators involved. Because I know there's a lot of people in YouTube who either want to put out different content or want to, they've been removed from YouTube. And they're looking for somewhere they can call their own and develop and move forward. So that's what we're working on. We'll get there eventually. It just takes time. But remind me, Danny, if you've not already had a chance to pick that link up, save it to your favourites, on your web browser, and you can pop by, drop in, and look at some of the videos which are there. I don't put a lot of videos up because I'm still trialing it myself to see how it will work with this sort of show, shall we say. But obviously I need to have guests. I mean, one way around it is, as I said earlier, is maybe a recorded version and putting them out that way. That way we can say whatever we want, and, But I don't edit anything. I'll leave everything as it is. Because I do a show, I'll leave it there. One day I might actually take some down, but need to make some space. But for the time being, they're still there. That way, if anybody wants any clips, they can do.
You know what?
As an invitation.
Just my opinion. I find it better when people don't clip the shit out of clips. You know what I mean? For the simple reason being is, if I don't want to listen to the bullshit, all I have to do is push fast forward on there and just blah, 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 and then boom, there's what I want to watch, right?
Yeah. Have you ever noticed these streams that re-stream other well, ended shows and run them at time and a half, speed, 1.5
Yeah.
and whatnot. It's like nobody talks like that.
No,
And I
no,
can't
but
process necessarily what people are saying.
no, but it's a
Um,
way. It's a way that people are getting away with using others' content because it's not really the original anymore. It's been altered.
yes. Yes. I can't say that. I mean, I understand, as I say, I don't agree with copyright
Right.
because I think it's theft. Sounds silly,
Information.
that.
Yeah, but information should be free, though.
Yes, and which is the other reason as well. We have, over the last 2 years, I think a lot of people have found ways around of doing things. I don't like calling certain things, like the jibby jab or a cupcake, using these phrases so that they don't get taken down and things like that. This is the reason why we want to have and want to build on PSYOP. And this is why Mrs. J is quite correctly put, you'll see stuff on there you won't see on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there's no terms of service, really.
Yeah.
That's the idea behind it.
There are some platforms out there that people have went from YouTube to those platforms just because of that reason, right?
Yep.
And well,
Yes.
one way that like I noticed certain ones, they'll put it down in the more information description that, right? The channels that they're going to be broadcasting on. And that's one way to draw your fans
Yep.
from one platform to a different, especially if they're already subscribed to somebody else on those platforms, right? It's a lot simpler. They're already signed in pretty much.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think there'll come a time when terms of service will alter and you won't even be allowed to do that.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. They're always trying to find ways around in order to, like I said before, they're controlling what we're allowed to see.
yes, you're only
Oh,
allowed to see the truth from their perspective, nobody
yeah,
else's.
yeah, and you're only allowed, well, here now, right? Say if I'm looking up for your channel, let's just say, if there's 100 more channels with similar names, I'm going to get them first if they're Canadian.
Yes.
That's one example of what they're doing here.
Yeah, so they're pushing the Canadian channels first. I mean, I can see it, I can understand it. I
Yeah,
can't say
but
that I would agree with it, but
mm,
because to me that's a form of censorship.
yep.
By promoting channels which are in the region that they're being brought up, you would be being transmitted from, etc.
You know what that's going to do, though, eh? You know how people are fighting and stuff on the internet already, okay, as it goes, right? And they don't even live in the same states, for frig's sakes, or the same countries.
Well,
No,
it
you know what that's
is
going to do, eh? It's going to
yeah,
promote battle at home between
yes,
the people.
different, yes, exactly. Well, that's the idea: division, divide and rule. It's always been the case, unfortunately. AJM, do you have eyes to see through? Of course you do. And I also have I have electronic ears, technically speaking, I suppose, because I wear hearing aids because I'm as deaf as a post. However, yes, I agree. And you know what else I have? The ability to turn it off if I don't like it.
Yeah, but to them, that's not an option. They don't consider that an option.
Of course, it's an option. It's like saying there's only a choice between the blue pill and the red pill. There's the third choice. Neither. You know. Hello, Eddie. How are you doing, mate?
Not too bad, pal. How are you?
I'm living the dream.
As you do.
I don't know which bloody nightmare it is, but I think it's the am I going to survive this winter? Am I going to be warm enough this winter? Blah, blah, blah.
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah. I take it, have you caught to have a chat? Have you come up to give us a song?
Yeah, sure, I might as well. While I'm here.
Give Danny a break from talking.
Yeah.
Danny's one of my friends from across the pond in Canada.
Oh, okay.
You may have seen him around. He's been on a few different channels. I'm sure you've seen Danny, but that's where he's from. And I'm not going to hold it against him.
Oh, I've seen him on here. I think he's on Devo's, as far as I know.
Well, we this is an international community as far as I'm concerned. I may not agree with everything people say, but I'll fight for your right to say it. Simple as that. I think it's fair. So, Danny, Eddie, what are you going to be playing for us? Have you got something in mind?
I'm going to do a little song called Space Odyssey.
Funny enough, we were talking about that. Well, similar earlier. Go for it, mate.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want you to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in the most peculiar way. The stars look very different today, for here am I floating in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Though I'm past 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. My spit, I think, My spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. Ground control to Major Tom. Your circuit's dead. There's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? I am floating in my tin can, far above the moon. Planet Earth is blue. There's nothing I can do.
Yay! You made that your own as always. Superb. I don't know what happened to Danny. I think his internet may have cut out. Do hope he's able to get back before we finish. Been going for 2.5 hours on a Sunday. Pretty good going, actually, for me. I'm glad you came up, Eddie. I need to go and get a can.
Oh, good.
I was thirsty. It's all that talking Danny's had me to. It's all right, Danny. Don't worry about it, mate. I thought your internet had gone. That was all. So, what have you been doing since I last spoke to you?
Well, I've been like that. Like yesterday, I was celebrating the mother's birthday, and as well as that, I was celebrating the my first 100 subs.
Fantastic.
Well. So a bit of somber news and a bit of good news as well. So like mixed in. So it was So I had because I lost the mother at the start of the year. So it's that's why it was so tough for me. But anyway, the I just before I came up there, I was doing a couple of movie reviews for like the movie Smile, and like get a bit of content out there, you know, and Hocus Pocus.
Ah, right. No, the new Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. So that's basically all I was doing, like from the last time I spoke to you, and
right.
I of course I was jumping in a few lives here and there, as you do.
So, keeping up to keeping in with lives is ideal. It helps take your mind off a few things at times, and also doing movie reviews. Danny, thanks for coming up. It's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much. Safe journey when you go and play taxi driver. In there, one t-shirt. Not going to do it again until the wife tells me.
That's it.
Yeah, I did. The only thing I did, what did I do? What day are we? Saturday today, aren't we? No, Sunday. Sunday today. Yeah. Yeah, it's work tomorrow. Jesus, I'm going to have to think about wrapping this up soon. Friday night we had a live, and that was about it. That was interesting. I've got a memory like a sieve. I sometimes remember who was on and who wasn't. Fallen. I had a guy called Fallen on for the first time, a bit like Danny. And we had an interesting conversation. or 3, went on all night. We had a magician on. And tonight, anyone would think that this was planned, but we've got Eddie on. It's not planned.
Well, this is definitely not planned.
Eddie drops by whenever he wants to.
Yeah.
Or he's able to.
If I see you there, I'll certainly drop in if there's nothing else doing,
Yeah. Well, we started off with a bit of a rant and a rave regarding We the Tyrant War. We the People Tyrant War Muppet. Okay, I can see I keep forgetting his name. It's accidental, by the way. It's got nothing to do with terms of service at all. I've just got a shocking memory.
It's okay. Great memory for forgetting as well.
And his sideswipe at the GrimReaperRadioshow.com. And it ended up with a conversation with usual suspect. He came up, and first of all we had Tony. Thank you so much, Tony, if you're still listening. He came up. That was a laugh, and then we ended up getting on to more serious stuff. But hey, it's the way this goes. If I tried to write out a plan for this show, I'd be scrapping it 2 minutes into it, or actually no, about 10 seconds into it, because I'm not doing that. Even if I put it together.
Yeah.
Denison, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Hoping you're feeling a bit better than you were the other day, my friend. You weren't too well, so I'm hoping you're feeling better. So, what next, he says. I believe, was it Southern Ireland or Northern Ireland? I think it was Southern Ireland, wasn't it, with the petrol station? It
was Northern Ireland, actually.
Was it Northern Ireland? I wasn't 100% certain because, the way they put it across, I thought I was driving, so I was hardly listening to it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was actually in Donegal.
Donegal, right. That would have meant nothing to me anyway. I've got to be honest.
Which is the north.
But I actually thought, when I first heard it, I thought, oh no, it's not starting again. That was the first thing, right? Second thing was the tragic loss of life, and it was kept going up. And my heart goes out to all affected, especially the parents of the young girl that was tragically killed in it.
Yeah.
But it's turned out apparently that it wasn't anything other than an accident to do with some gas that escaped somewhere, or build up of gas. So let's hope that lessons are learned and they look at that and try and fix it so it doesn't happen again, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's a kind of a freak accident as regards to like the petrol station, all of a sudden just fucking blown up like.
Yeah, I presume it was the petrol fumes in the air or something that was escaping from underneath rather than the gas main. But,
anyway.
I was, I heard it on the way back yesterday, and I thought, what the hell's going on? But I hope if anybody is affected, if anybody knows of anybody, reach out to them, make sure they're okay. At the end of the day, because there'll be a lot of collateral damage as well, not just the immediate loved ones of those who passed. As I say, there's always collateral damage. On to a much, hopefully, brighter note. I just wanted to pay my respects to them. Eddie, have we got another song or two?
Yeah. I always have a song, you know that.
I know. I always ask.
I know.
I'll go for another 20 minutes, guys, and then I have to call it because, as I say, I've got to get up for work tomorrow and still got some things to do tonight. I'll leave it in your capable hands, Eddie.
Okay.
Cheers, Joko, for coming in.
Right, the system is giving me a bit of problem. Come on. There we go.
All right.
Oh, need to tune up. Hold on a second.
I presume, not knowing that much about music, that tuning up means that he needs a quick stick. No, he doesn't smoke. Probably needs to get the guitar in the right tone. I listen to music, I don't play it. I hope you've had a good evening, and hope you've enjoyed it. Great to see so many people in and contributing, and talking amongst yourselves as well. And also, thank you for your support. That's been really good. It's nice to see, and to hear words of encouragement and see words of encouragement as well. Homer, what are you confused about? Tell us in a bit.
Have you seen the old man in the closed down market, kicking up the papers with his worn out shoe? Have you seen in his eyes, you see no pride, and held loosely by his side? Yesterday's papers telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? So let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks the streets of London, dirt in her hair and her clothes in red? She's no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home into carry her bag. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? So let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. In an all-night cafe at 11:15, same old man sitting there on his own, looking at the world over the rim of his teacup. Each tea lasts an hour, and he wanders home alone. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? So let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. Oh, have you seen the old man outside the seaman's mission? Each memory fading with the metal ribbons he wears. In our winter city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero that doesn't care. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? So let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind.
It's the first time I've done that in a long time. Didn't realise I was muted, but hey ho. Just wondering, was that in relation by any chance to the people who went down to London and they were leading each other by the hand to try and get all the way around the Houses of Parliament? Or am I just being sarcastic?
Probably sarcastic, I would say.
Okay, fair enough. It just seemed apt, that was all. That was brilliant. Really do think, everybody's saying so. You've got everybody's applaud. Denison, Spooky, AJM. I think that oh, I like this one. Sorry, AJ, I'm not picking on you, honest. I had to work it out. Funny. Yeah, some people don't get sarcasm straight away. Yeah, the penny drop though sometimes.
Yeah. Sure, that was what was a 70s or 80s song though?
Yeah, it's a good one. There's quite a lot of songs that you do which really, really well. If I asked you to finish it as on the way out with an Irish jig or country song, would you do that for us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So after this tune, folks, I'm going to end the stream so that I can start getting things sorted for tomorrow and also do the other things that I need to do. I want to thank every one of you who've been in. You've done fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks for your support. Great watching some of the chat and reading some of the chat. As always, everybody comes in here, they have a nice time, regardless of what's going on. And thank you for leaving your crap at the door. I really do appreciate it. It could have gone totally skew with. I could have ended up with a load of trolls in here, but I've ended up with you lovely people who come in on a weekly basis and just chill and relax. And on top of that, we've got the wonderful Eddie Gagnon who came in to do a couple of songs for us. So I'm going to shut up now. I've said my taras. I'm going to say goodbye to Eddie. Thanks for joining us. If you'd stick around when you finish, I'll end the stream. And peace out to everybody. Over to you, Eddie.
All right.
Sunday Valley for many years where I may lay. Then you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave, while he is sleeping in his grave. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you'll never see no more. But there is one part
And that's all from me. Ta-ra, guys. Thanks, Eddie. Take care now, all of you.